This story begins in Central Park, where a deadly battle is underway between Peter and Hellgate. Peter refuses to slow down, throwing punches in every direction, hoping to finally break Hellgate's focus. Hellgate is eager to test his own strength, and Peter is giving him that challenge. But more than 30 minutes have passed, and the fight continues without pause. Each strike Peter lands also brings pain to his own body, as if he is punching solid metal. He doesn't want to cause serious harm, but he has no other choice. Hellgate demanded this fight, and Peter is forced to respond. Before Peter can throw another punch, Hellgate suddenly grabs his head. Peter struggles but cannot break free, and for the first time, fear creeps into him. The scene shifts into a flashback at the Parker home. A younger Peter is seen training under Uncle Ben. Ben is teaching him boxing, but Peter insists karate is better. Ben argues that karate only works in the movies, while Peter counters that his school bully knows karate and easily beats him. Boxing feels useless because it doesn't allow kicking. Determined to prove a point, Ben invites Peter to hit him using his so-called karate skills. Excited, Peter agrees, and they begin the lesson. After many failed attempts, Peter admits defeat, realizing boxing is more effective, especially if he wants to defend himself against bullies. But Ben gently reminds him that fighting is not always the only answer. Sometimes running away is just as important as throwing a punch. Back in the present, at Columbus Circle, the morning crowd has already filled the area with people exercising and heading to work. Suddenly, Spider-Man is smashed against a statue. He urges people to leave quickly. Run! Run, people! Or just take out your phones and watch me bruise in real time. But instead, they pull out their phones to record the beaten superhero. Hellgate appears and hurls his axe. Peter manages to dodge, but the strike shatters the statue, which begins toppling toward an ice cream cart. Pushing his battered body, Peter grabs the statue just in time to prevent injuries, but the effort leaves him exposed. Hellgate slams him with brutal force, cracking his ribs. Blood fills Peter's mouth, but he pushes aside the pain, remembering Uncle Ben's advice about fighting and running. With the crowd now safe, Peter lets the statue fall onto a car, but he himself is cornered. Hellgate cannot understand why Spider-Man risks so much for strangers. Before he can attack again, police arrive, ready to open fire. Peter tries to stop them. No, please, don't engage, don't. But it's too late. Hellgate drives his weapon into the ground, unleashing a massive fiery explosion that wipes out the officers. Enraged, Peter attacks with the axe, striking its sharp end into Hellgate's body, but the blow has no effect. Hellgate then changes his focus. Standing in the middle of the street, he prepares to unleash his blast on an approaching bus. Peter leaps onto him at the last second. As he fights, Peter recalls Ben's words. If you're alone, running might be best. But if people's lives are at risk, there is no choice but to fight. He realizes this is that moment. Using sharp words, he taunts Hellgate, attacking his pride. This tactic works. Hellgate lashes out recklessly. Peter takes advantage, bringing down the entire ground floor of a building onto him to buy some time and think of a plan. Just then, a new figure appears, calling himself Captain Kintsugi. He claims that he has been tracking Hellgate and is here to help defeat him. But Peter refuses, not wanting anyone else to die in this battle. As he argues, Hellgate frees himself from the rubble. Peter keeps trying to force him back under the debris, determined to hold his ground. Meanwhile, Mary Jane Watson gazes out of her modest apartment window. It is a daily habit, but today her thoughts are heavy. Her life has taken a new turn. She now lives with Paul. They have adopted Dylan, and she shares a strange bond with Venom. Still, her relationship with Paul is strained, and deep inside, she cannot shake her feelings for Peter. She still longs for him, even though Paul does his best to be a father figure for Dylan. Their quiet morning is interrupted by news broadcasts. Spider-Man is in serious danger. On the battlefield, Spidey struggles to stop Hellgate. The monster had come to Earth expecting Spider-Man to be strong, but now he sees him as weak, burdened by his care for others. To Hellgate, compassion is cowardice. He decides it's time to finish Spidey up. Suddenly, a mysterious voice echoes. telling Hellgate he cannot kill Spider-Man because he is destined for greater things. But Hellgate ignores the warning. Raising his burning hand, he smashes Spidey across the face. Spider-Man collapses, defeated, and it appears that maybe he is dead. The next scene opens in a department store where a young Peter Parker, when life was at its peak and everything was good, is out shopping. He runs here and there, playing with his Captain America action figure. Aunt May tells Peter to stay in her sight and not to go too far as she starts shopping for clothes for herself and for Peter too. While playing with toys, Peter hopes that one day he will become a hero when he grows up. The best superhero who saves the lives of innocent people. Just then, the scene shifts from the past to the present on the streets of New York City. Shocker, in his brand new suit, is creating chaos. Along with him is his team of aftershocks, helping him stir up destruction across the street. Meanwhile, Shocker screams at them, "Move it! Team, we have the bag, evac is planned." With that, Shocker loads his gauntlet and aims toward civilians. Shocker announces that this city does not belong to the people, because now Shocker is back, and the aftershocks have come with him too. With that, he launches his shockwave blast, completely destroying a police van that was coming to stop him. Just then, Peter Parker passes by as he is heading to his new job. He is still injured from the recent fight with Hellgate. Peter stops for a moment to stare at Shocker, and Shocker coldly stares back with some words. "You got something to say, tough guy? You look like you got something to say." But Peter tells him no, that he is not looking for any trouble, and quickly leaves. A little further away, he opens the news on his phone, puts in his earphones, and starts listening. J. Jonah Jameson is screaming on air about the chaos in the city, saying gangs are making a mess and the police cannot handle it. He then points his finger at Spider-Man, saying all those so-called heroes are not responding to calls. Then he adds that there's one hero he won't name, but it rhymes with Hiderman. After that Columbus Circle fight, he disappeared. Now is the time for him to show up and get back to work. Peter listens and smiles at all this while riding the metro toward his office. His long-lost friend Brian Naring has gotten him a job at Rand Enterprises. Upon reaching the office, Peter and his friend Brian give a presentation about the Mycoteria model, which impresses their boss, Dr. Mara Osmani Milton. She congratulates both Peter and Brian. One co-worker, Astrid, thinks it will not work as she has some issues with the model. Brian suggests Astrid take Peter out for science dinner or science coffee to help him out. Peter tries to stop Brian, but Astrid cuts him off, saying she will be free in 15 months after her research, so he better be ready for that. With that, she leaves. Dr. Mara then calls out Brian, telling him to stop doing that in the office. Brian replies, "I said science dinner. It's not an HR violation if I'm trying to help a bud, right?" The boss shakes her head but leaves, appreciating Peter's amazing work. Peter then tells Brian not to be his wingman, especially in the office, and reminds him that he already has a girlfriend. Brian jokes that Peter can have 2 girls, and Peter quips that it reminds him why Brian is still single. With that, Peter pulls out his phone to check his messages. After the office, when Peter leaves, Norman Osborn approaches him and tries to talk. Norman tells him it's okay to be in his own space, and that he respects it, but there are things that need to be done, things he cannot handle alone. Norman reminds Peter about the recent attack, about Hobgoblin trying to poison everyone, and how Peter himself was attacked. He tells Peter these matters need to be addressed. Peter stays silent, taking a long pause. After a moment, Norman adds again that the city needs him, and Spider-Man must return to maintain balance. Peter replies that he is working on it, but Norman puts a hand on his shoulder and asks if he really is, because from what he sees, Peter is only avoiding it. Norman then asks if Peter has spoken to his aunt, which makes Peter angry. He pushes Norman's hand away and walks off, telling him not to bother him again at work. Meanwhile, at the feast center, Aunt May is at work, but she looks dull and bothered by something. Her co-worker Ricardo notices and asks if she has spoken to Peter yet. She says no. Ricardo advises her to talk to Peter and not leave him with space. He shares that the same thing happened with his own niece. When their family gave her too much space, she started doing drugs, and now she is no more. May quickly corrects him, saying Peter is not on drugs, she is just giving him space. Ricardo warns her again, saying that space sometimes kills. May starts thinking about how she can get Peter's attention, and Ricardo urges her to do it soon. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, Shocker is seen visiting Tombstone's office, thanking him for the money he gave for his armor upgrades. Tombstone is very happy with Shocker, saying he is the only one who borrowed money and returned it on time after an upgrade. Tombstone tells Shocker he is now his new favorite and even gives him more money to double up. Shocker gladly accepts and leaves. On the other hand, Peter is walking back home while talking to his mysterious girlfriend, the one no one really knows about. Peter tells her about his whole day in the office, and as he reaches his apartment and opens the door, he asks if she is coming over tonight or not. Suddenly, he hears a voice from behind. Peter turns around and quickly cuts the call, saying, "Hey, let me call you back, honey." Mary Jane is standing right next to Peter's apartment. She says, "Take it. Honey, isn't Aunt May? She's worried about you." Peter tells her that he got her message, but next time she should text him instead. MJ claims he doesn't read those messages. Peter replies that he doesn't want to do this right now, to which MJ says neither does she. She is just checking on him because May Parker asked her to, and now she will report back that Peter is fine. MJ then hesitantly says there's another reason she is here. It's about them. She admits she has wanted to say this for a long time, but he has always been too busy with work and fights. She reminds Peter that he has always been her friend, and she has always tried to be there for him. All of a sudden, Venom emerges from MJ. She says, "I need my friend," and Venom adds, "We need you, Parker." Venom continues, saying it's a long story about him and MJ together. MJ asks Peter to please say something, but Peter only exhales deeply, turning toward his door. As he steps inside, he tells MJ that the way she came here and said all these things, he thought she wanted to get back together. But before closing the door, Peter says, "You two deserve each other." MJ and Venom are left outside the apartment with heavy hearts. Meanwhile, Randy and Shay Markin are walking on the street, talking about Peter Parker. Randy says Peter isn't the type to ghost anyone, not his ex, not his friends, not even his aunt. But now he's gone completely silent. He isn't talking to anyone. Shay replies that it's all after that accident. Randy answers, "That had air quotes." Shay quickly responds, "I'm a nurse with access to medical records." Randy, I looked. If Peter Parker was the victim of a hit and run, he wasn't treated in a New York hospital. People in crisis sometimes push away the people who can help them, usually because they don't want out. Randy takes a breath and says, "It was the same day that Maniac tore up Columbus Circle. Maybe the records got lost?" But Shay senses something off. The next moment, a speeding car crashes nearby. She shouts at Randy, and both barely escape. Inside the car, a kid dressed in a full hero outfit holding a shield charges at Shocker's gang members. One of the gang members asks who the hell this kid is, and another replies whoever he is, he's about to be dead. From afar, Randy asks Shay about the kid. She explains that he is Captain Kintsugi, the same one who helped Spider-Man at Columbus Circle, but he's just a kid. Shocker's gang members start aiming shockwaves at Captain Kintsugi. The kid shouts, "Come on! We're not done." After taking the first hit, the kid falls down, and 3 of Shocker's men close in on him. They aim their gauntlets as if they're about to blast him apart. One says, "Picked the wrong night to cosplay hero, kid. You're gonna feel what it's like to have your intestines liquefied by sound." Shay shouts that he's just a kid. But before the blast can fire, a rope suddenly catches one gang member's back and pulls him upward. The other 2 look at each other in shock, wondering who did that. They look up to see their partner hanging. One shouts to Jimmy to check who's above, but the darkness hides everything. Jimmy switches on the light from his gauntlet, and when it flashes upward, it reveals none other than Spider-Man. He is finally here, taking down the goons one by one. But the real question is, underneath that mask, is it really Peter Parker or someone else? The situation is confusing. Either way, Spider-Man begins hunting down Shocker's men. The goons mutter to each other, thinking Spider-Man was long gone, out of the game. But here he is, fighting with full energy. They try to shock him, but Spidey fights back hard, throwing punches and kicks at both of them. Meanwhile, at the back, Randy calls the police and tells them everything, urging them to come as quickly as possible because he thinks Spidey needs help throwing out Shocker's men. But Shay thinks it's not Spidey who needs help, but the goons, as Spidey takes down one of them and literally chokes him with his foot. The other one starts screaming out, "The hell? He was down, man." Just then, the one hanging upside down on the pole throws a shockwave at Spidey. It hits him hard, and Spidey crashes into a nearby car. The one hanging yells to the other to kill Spidey and take him down. The other one walks closer, aims his gauntlet at Spidey and says, "Don't have to tell me twice. The last thing you'll ever hear is that the Aftershocks own your formerly friendly neighborhood." Just as he's about to shock Spider-Man, a shield comes flying through and smashes him in the face. It's Captain Kintsugi coming to the rescue again. He greets Spidey and tells him how happy he is that Spider-Man is back. Spidey tells him to get down, and then with his web shooters, he webs up all three of Shocker's men against the wall. Captain Kintsugi looks at them hanging upside down in the webbing and adds, "That's one way to stop them. Ha, hey, I don't wanna, overstep, but can they still breathe in that?" But Spidey gives no response. When Kintsugi turns around to check, Spider-Man is already gone, slipping away quietly. The scene then shifts to Black Cat's apartment, where she is training and working out while listening to a podcast. As usual, J. Jonah Jameson is lashing out at Spider-Man about what happened last night. He tells his audience that Spider-Man has gone completely rogue, especially after that last fight where he was defeated. It has really changed him. Jameson claims Spidey is now something more dangerous because when he confronted Shocker's men last night, instead of simply apprehending them, he nearly beat them to death. Those three men are now in the hospital. Black Cat listens to all of this and throws her punches at the boxing bag harder, clearly concerned. Meanwhile, Peter Parker, on his way to his office, also hears Jonah's podcast. Jameson continues ranting that he doesn't support criminals. They got what they deserved. But Spider-Man's new web formula lasts for hours and can impale people. No one knows what happened to Spidey after the Central Park event, but something about him is different. Suddenly, a car screeches to a stop in front of Peter. The door opens and it's Tombstone, who asks Peter to get in the car because he needs to talk about something. Peter refuses and tells him he's not doing that. Tombstone's face hardens with anger as he warns him not to do anything stupid and just get in the car, insisting they need to talk about their mutual friend privately. Tombstone tries again, urging Peter to be a pal and adds, "Frankie's out on parole, and we wouldn't want him in a position where he breaks." But Peter cuts him off by smashing the nose of Tombstone's guard standing behind him. Then Peter adds, "His nose?" Too late. Tombstone glares and asks Peter if he's really mentally stable, because it certainly doesn't seem like it. Peter gives him a cold look and says he's out of the messenger business permanently. If Tombstone wants to talk with Spider-Man, he should slide into his DMs or shine a light in the sky. Hearing this, Tombstone snaps back angrily, "For real? This is the play? You seem to have forgotten what happened the last time you decided to grow a pair." But Peter calmly replies that he hasn't forgotten, he just doesn't care anymore. He's not afraid of Tombstone or anything anymore. With that, Peter starts walking away. Tombstone murmurs under his breath, "We'll see about that." From the top floor of a nearby building, Black Cat is secretly watching this all. At the office, after finishing their work, Brian and Peter are laughing and making jokes. They are laughing so loud that the whole office is looking at them like something is wrong. But they don't stop until their boss Mara's voice interrupts them. "Children!" She enters the room and exhales. There's science should be fun, and there's disturbing the workplace. Meanwhile, Astrid is watching everything from outside, so Mara orders her to leave. Boss Mara then asks Peter about the mycoteria, and Peter tells her that it's going well. She informs both of them that she has to go out for a couple of weeks for a personal matter. Peter asks if everything is okay, But instead, the boss directly asks Peter if he is fine with becoming the head of the department to watch everything in her absence. Before Peter can answer, Brian jumps in and says he can take care of that. But Mara insists that Peter should handle it, so Peter agrees. The boss appreciates him and leaves the room. Somehow, it looks like Brian hasn't taken this very well. Later, while walking home after office, Peter talks with his mysterious girlfriend, telling her about his day. He even asks about tonight's dinner, but just then, Peter senses danger. He feels an attack coming, and in the very next moment, a burst of shockwave power hits him badly. From the dust, Shocker appears with his fists charged up. He looks at Peter and says, "Hi, nerd, you pissed off the wrong gangster." Peter is down and barely manages to get up. He recognizes the voice and stutters, "Shocker." Shocker comes close to him and says, "Hence your breathing privileges are revoked." Just when it seems like Shocker will finish Peter, Black Cat suddenly appears and kicks Shocker, saying, "Bad luck for a bad man." She kicks him hard again and yells, "Don't blame me, sweetness. They're your vibes." Shocker regains his balance and blasts a shockwave toward her, yelling, "Screw you, Black Cat." Black Cat dodges easily and replies, "Language, Shocker. I thought you were a professional." She avoids the shockwave, but soon she starts feeling dizzy. Her body weakens, and she drops to her knees as if Shocker has unleashed some kind of sonic waves. The pressure builds inside her, and it feels like her veins will burst. Shocker loads his gauntlets again and aims at Black Cat, saying, "Sorry, this isn't personal. New boss. I gotta step up. For what it's worth, I was a fan. Especially back when you just robbed rich morons." Just as he is about to finish her, a web suddenly attaches to his back. He turns around in shock to see who it is. It's Spider-Man. Spidey swings Shocker high into the air and smashes him hard into the ground like a super slam. Black Cat is surprised to see Spider-Man there, while Shocker lies on the ground, terrified. He starts apologizing because he feels something is broken in his back. Spider-Man's rage is unlike before. Black Cat quickly gets up and stops him, telling him not to hurt Shocker anymore. She reminds him that if Shocker comes back, they'll deal with it, just like Spider-Man always used to say. But this time, Spidey is different. He grabs Shocker's hands and, in full rage, tells Black Cat that he was wrong back then. With that, he swings away with Shocker and lands straight at Tombstone's place. He throws Shocker, crashing him into Tombstone's office. Tombstone barely manages to avoid the impact. Spidey then stands tall on the roof, giving a cold look to both Tombstone and Shocker, and swings away. After he leaves, Tombstone angrily murmurs, "Message received. A new era. All right then." As Spidey swings away, he suddenly hears the voice of his alter ego, Peter Parker, saying that they need to talk. The scene then shifts to Peter and Spidey standing face to face. Peter tells him, "You are not Spider-Man." Spidey agrees, but also claims, "You're not Peter Parker." From this, it feels like something is off with Peter, or maybe he isn't Peter Parker at all. Maybe it's just a clone. We'll surely find that out in the upcoming issues. Stay tuned.